ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد ثم أما بعد. We're still talking about the hijab issue, and last Jum'ah, alhamdulillah, we covered the dress code or libas al-mar'a or thiyab al-mar'a before Islam. And we said that the tradition of the women at that time, Islam came and approved most of it and modified some issues that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want the woman to cover more. And we have certain ayat in the Quran. When the Quran was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and then conveyed to us, we have some important ayat in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا لِبُعُولَتِهِنَّ to the end of the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that tell the believer women, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell the believer women to lower their gaze, to limit their vision, reduce their vision, okay, not to stare to men, and protect their private parts, and don't show their zina. And again, we have different opinions about zina, but the beauty, whatever this beauty in the woman herself, or something external that the women use to show their beauty. But again, and I don't want to go in details of the ayat, but we will go to something what we call al-ayan yughni an al-bayan. Meaning, when you see something visually, I don't have to explain it. So if you ask me, describe the masjid, and I don't want to talk too much, what I will do, I will take you to the masjid and I say, this is a masjid. Describe to yourself. So this is what I'm doing. We will see how the woman dress after this ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or this ayat, Allah revealed this ayat to the women and to Muslims, how the women dressed. And this will be more than the description that any sheikh or any faqih will say. This is how people implemented this ayat in their life and history of Islam. And we said, وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُوبِهِنَّ. We said the khimar is the head cover. The khimar is the head cover, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the women to cover, to use part of the remaining of their khimar, so they maintain covering their head. Okay, nothing will change, but use the remaining of the cover and turn it around and cover your jayb, the opening on the chest. Okay, so it will cover the neck and part of the women's chest. This is the simple ayat. And don't show your beauty, or you can have something less inside the houses with your husband, with your father, with your children, and so on, which is the maharim, the close relative that the woman cannot marry, because the ayah is too long. And then at the end of the ayah, وَلَا يَضْرِبْنَ بِأَرْجُلِهِنَّ لِيُعْلَمَ مَا يُخْفِينَ مِنْ زِينَتِهِنَّ. Don't make, when they walk, they have certain jewelry, they walk and they make noise and get attraction of men. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't make noise, don't get attraction of men while you are walking. So, and qiyasan, based on this, any thing that the woman will use to grab the attention of men is not recommended by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the first ayah. The second ayah, Allah said, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّبِيِّ قُلْ لِأَزْوَاجِكَ وَبَنَاتِكَ وَنِسَاءِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِهِنَّ ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَنْ يُعْرَفْنَ فَلَا يُؤْذَيْنَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, O Prophet, tell your wives, your daughters, and the women or the believers' women to bring down over themselves part of their out garment, which is like a robe or something. So the women will have some clothes inside the house. When they go out, they put something else, which is like a abaya or a robe or something. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling them about this. And the last ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking to أمهات المؤمنين, to the wives of Rasulullah ﷺ, the mothers of the believers, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى, and abide in your houses and then don't expose yourself the same way that some women will expose themselves before Islam. And of course, Allah is talking to the women of Rasulullah ﷺ, but it will be conveyed to us too. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu taqillah, O Prophet, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is a command to Rasulullah and command to us, also command to the wives of Rasulullah and command to most of the women in one opinion. Some people said, no, this is only for the wives of Rasulullah, and I respect this opinion, but I just give you the two opinions. So these are the ayat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Quran. How the Muslim received this ayat? What was their actions? We have in the time of Tabi'een, which is the second generation after Sahaba. So we have the Sahaba, and then we have Tabi'een, the followers. So in this, we have many stories, and again, this is in the Kutub al-Adab, in the Arabic literature, and we have Al-Jahiz. Al-Jahiz, one of the great writers in our history. He said, it's a long story, but I take piece of it. Mus'ab ibn Zubayr, he wanted to marry a girl, her name is Aisha bint Talha, and other two friends of him, they want to marry. So it seemed that they heard about them. So everyone will go and ask a lady, which is like, dar match, what we see, Muslim match, that's online. They don't have online back then. So he went to this lady, her name is Hawa, and they told her, Ya Khala, we asked to engage these ladies. So everyone named the girl he want to marry, and they told her, we want you to visit them. We are not able to see them. We want to know about them more, so when we marry them, we have more details about them. So she said, don't worry. She told them, don't worry, I will go. فذهبت إليهم. So she told Aisha, and she repeated the story with the other two girls. فقالت لعائشة, I heard about your beauty. I was sitting with some women chatting, and I heard about your beauty, and I want to see how beautiful you are. Can you, and some people, will read the story, undress, it doesn't mean go naked. Take the clothes, you go out and stay with your home clothes. Like the same way you sit at home as a man or your wife sit at home. She said, she accepted this. And she walked in front of the lady to show her beauty. And then she did the same with the other two girls. And then she went back to Mus'ab and she told him, she one of the beautiful women in Quraysh, and I recommend you to marry her, but she has a problem. Her ear, عندها عظم الأذن كبير. The bones of her ear is big. But don't worry, it is covered under the khimar. She told that this is the shahid. This is the life of the people, social life. She said, don't worry, because when we put the khimar for our sisters, you cover your udhun, your ear. So she said she has a big bones on her ear, but no worry, because she will be covered under the khimar. And this is something we know how the women dress at that time. We have another man, famous man, his name is Umar ibn Abi Rabi'a. He was a great poet, and Abdullah ibn Abbas, the great mufassir in Islam, Habr al-Quran, used to love him so much, and every time he sees him, he asks him, and yunshida, tell me what the last poem you said. So he made a story, it's not true, because he was a good Muslim. But the problem with shu'ara, they imagine many things. So he said, I spent one night with the lady I love, and in her tribe place, but we didn't realize that the morning is coming, and I have nowhere to go. The men will see me and they will kill me. So what to do? The lady asked her two sisters to come and help her to get him out of the tribe. So he said this in Sha'r. فقالت لها الصغرى سأعطيه مطرفي ودرعي وهذا البرد إن كان يحذره. He said, don't worry, I will give him some of my clothes, he will cover himself. نقوم فيمشي بيننا متنكرا فلا يسرون يفشو ولا هو يظهر. She said, he will walk beside us and nobody will see his face. And our secret will be protected. Meaning what? Nobody see his face. And this was in the time of Abdullah Ibn Abbas. So all these stories is telling us that the women back then, some of them cover their faces and some will show their faces. We have one شاعر, which is شاعر الفسوق, أبو نواس. أبو نواس كان مشهور, غفر الله له, كان مشهورا بالفسق والمجون. Abu Nuwas, one of the famous poets, but he was immoral, very bad person. May Allah forgive him. And he has many stories, okay? But he mentioned one of them. He said, I went with my friend to a tribe, and we saw a lady with niqab. So I told my friend, let's come close and see this lady. And when he come close to her, and he said, you have a beautiful eyes, but the niqab is covering an ugly face. So the girl went inside the tent and came out بخمار أسود. She came with a black khimar, meaning uncover her face. And the story continued, but this is what I want from the story. That Abu Nuwas, even this immoral person, the one that we don't recommend to read about him or to read his poets, but his poems, but when he spoke about the women, he said the truth. That when he see a woman outside the tent or outside the house, either she's covering her face, or the minimum, she will uncover her face. And this is very important moment to us, because even the bad people in our society, Muslim society, they said the truth. Even inside the palace, inside the house, they make any sin, they commit sin, they make something haram. But when they go outside the house, they follow the shar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the norm, the dress code for men and women was protected back then. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم اما بعد. We have a famous book that's called ألف ليلة وليلة, which is 1000 Night and Night. The West loved this book, and they translated all the fancy stories that you have, علاء الدين والمصباح السحري, Aladdin, and the lamp and the genie will come out of the lamp, all these stories in this book. And again, in this book, there's some stories are not good and not recommended for children. But when we take how the writers, and these writers are not religious, these writers want to have fun and good time. They drink, they commit sins and so on. But still, when they describe the woman outside in the street, see how they describe them. He said, one story, a man was a hammal. Hammal means, I don't know the English name, but it's someone who carry, it was a job, carry stuff for you. You go to Subis, they don't have the cart or a car, so what do? You hire him, and he will hold the basket, and the woman will take all the stuff, put it in the basket, and then he will carry the stuff for her to the house, and she give him some money. So this Hammal saying the story, he said, I was standing in the street, and a woman came, and he described the clothes, and then he said, when she came close to me, فَرَفَعَتْ قِنَاعَهَا. He said, when she came close to me, she uncovered the qina'. She removed the face cover, and the story will continue. So this will tell you again that in the time of Harun al-Rashid, in the Khilafah al-Abbasiyya, in Baghdad, in Iraq, women, they will walk covering their faces, and the minimum they will do, which is accepted in Islam, they will show their faces. And again, there's many stories in Alf Layla wa Layla, and many stories, but we have no time to describe them. But another in Alf Layla wa Layla, he speaks about a wedding, and he said, في هذا الزفاف اصطفت جميع نساء الأمراء والوزراء والحجاب صفين. زفة كما يقول العرب. وكل امرأة معها شمعة كبيرة مضيئة وكلهن ملثمات. They speak about wedding, and he said all the women, the wives of the ministers, the wife of the princes, the wife of the famous people in the state, they stand in two lines, lighting candles, for the wedding party. وكلهن ملثمات, and all of them covering their faces. SubhanAllah, this is very important shahada or document that the Muslim ummah all the time was either, for women especially, covering their faces or hiding or showing their faces, which, as I said before, this is accepted in Islam. The two opinions are accepted and we have to live in peace and harmony with them. When the problem happened 100 years ago, up to 100 years ago, we have no issue with the hijab. Nobody will complain about it. Nobody will say we have to reread the religious book. We have to rethink again about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and we have to discover the undiscovered. Like as the ulama of the ummah, as our ancestors, our parents, our mothers, they didn't discover Islam. And we wait for the European. When they occupied India, when they occupied Egypt, when they occupied Algeria, they discovered Islam. And they explained Islam to us. All this happened in the last 100 years under the occupation of European people to our countries, and we have many proofs and many texts that up to 1882 أحمد شوقي رحمة الله عليه يقول الأعراب يريدون النساء بلا حجاب ونحن اليوم أولى بالحجاب. أحمد شوقي, one of the great poets, he's telling another man that they want the woman to uncover, so you can realize at that time start the debate. They want to take the hijab from the woman, and Egypt at that time was under the British occupation. Okay, so and he said, now we are not true men, and the men should wear the hijab. Like, you know, الرجال أن يلبسن الطرح أو الحجاب لأنهم ليسوا برجال. This is what he's trying to say. Like the men are not true men anymore, and we should dress like women because we are not dealing with them as men. So this is the meaning. But we can see at that time the call to change the hijab and take the hijab out. And we have a famous man. His name is قاسم أمين. قاسم أمين رحمة الله عليه وغفر الله له. He made a كتاب تحرير المرأة المسلمة, to liberate the Muslim woman. أو تحرير المرأة, just liberate the woman. And he, ما دعا إليه قاسم أمين هو سفور المرأة. What قاسم أمين called woman to is سفور. What we said last Jum'ah about سفور. سفور doesn't mean to take the hijab completely. سفور, to uncover the face. He called the woman to get educated. He called the woman to just show their face and be part of the social life. And I'm not saying the man has a good niyyah or not. I don't know. It's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what he said, still under the umbrella of Islam, still within the boundaries of Islam and accepted opinions of the fuqaha. There is no problem for the woman to go to school and learn. There is no problem for the woman to show their faces. There is no problem for the woman to talk to men. And men talk to women under control. ما نسميه الاختلاط المحترم. Respected mixing between men and women. When we have people, neighbors, friends, relatives, and the speaking or the discussion based on respect, this is no problem. We have many incidents in Islam that woman was in the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and a woman sa'fa'u al-khadday, something on her checks, the woman who stands in Umar ibn al-Khattab. All these stories, even if it's not authentic, but I'm saying there is something that the woman was part of the social life. And the problem is we go to extreme. Either the woman will be in prison or the woman will be exposed. And Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran will show us that the opinions of hijab or niqab are accepted, and the controlled interaction between men and women has to be controlled. The last point, and I'm making this theory. I think, and someone who studies sociology and all this fancy stuff, because you know engineers doesn't know this, that maybe we need someone to study this. And I will make the claim, and someone, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help to do this. I think even in Europe, women were dressing properly. And after the World War I and World War II, just imagine in Europe, after the First War, they lost 26 million plus injuries. This is working force. Secondly, in the second war, we have over 60 or 70 millions who were killed. Of course, in the whole world, but at least Europe lost another 30 millions. Plus injuries. So when you lose within 30 or 40 years, you lose 50 millions or 100 millions adding the injuries. And all these men mostly are the working force, young men who go and fight. What will happen to the new cities, the new industry, the people, the capitalism? Now, الرأسمالية المتوحشة, this aggressive capitalism. We have no labor. Where the new source of labor? The poor women. I think they invite women to come and work in factories. And we have many documentaries about the German women who rebuilt Germany, who cleaned Germany after the war. So it was a call for the women. And of course, the dress code, the modest code, will be difficult for religious women to be part of the capitalism. So they force the women to work, and they have no other choice. They lost a lot of support. And this diseases was conveyed to our countries. And we still see, if you compare, United States doesn't have this problem because United States doesn't have the same losses of the war like Europe. This is why the American society still more religious than Europe. And don't compare cities to cities. Compare the normal life. Go to countryside. Go to different cities of the United States. Don't go to New York or San Diego or Los Angeles. All the capital or the major cities like Toronto, like any other city. So this could be the reason that even Europe and the Western people rely more on the woman. So the conclusion of this, that the Muslim woman, as I said, al-khimar is to cover the head. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted Islam, accepted the dress code of women before Islam, and He modified and He told them to cover their neck and their chest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the options for the women to cover their face or to show their faces. It is fard from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was before Islam, yes, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala approved it, meaning it should continue. Any woman, any Muslim woman that has a problem with the hijab, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help her. But she has to know this is fard from Allah. It is obligation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah commanded her to wear the hijab. So we don't want our women, even if they cannot have the full hijab, to reject it. Say, oh Allah, help me to put it on. And the last thing, I want to have a recommendation, especially for high school girls, because they are under pressure, especially girls, and we have to realize this. Maybe the sisters will be able to help more. I don't know if men can help with this, but we need to help our young daughters who start to wear the hijab, and they will feel the pressure in the high school or in the university. We have to have group to support them. It's not only we just talk. And mashallah, we got more information. We have to translate this into actions. In every masjid, in area like this masjid, may Allah bless all of you, that what is your rule to serve Islam? You have to maintain the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your children, boys or girls. So think about a solution. I don't know what to do, but I'm suggesting that we have to do something with schools, we have to do something with the masajid, we have to do some circles to educate them and to support them. Because it's not only about education, you need someone to help them to continue this journey with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help our sisters to maintain their hijab. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them and to help the young girls to maintain their hijab. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cover them with modesty and with fearing of Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم استرهن بسترك الجميل. اللهم استرهن بحجابك الذي فرضت علينا يا رب العالمين. اللهم استرهن بالحياء. اللهم علمهن الحياء واسترهن بالحياء يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا رحمة لا نشقى بعدها أبدا يا رب العالمين. اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا إلى طاعتك. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم ردنا والمسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. اللهم اغفر لموتانا وموتى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم لا تفتنا بعدهم، اللهم لا تفتنا بعدهم، اللهم لا تجعلنا من المبدلين ولا تجعلنا من المغيرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. وقوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.